Hello everyone, my name is El Parnaso, and for today's video I'm gonna show you the greatest Yami combo of all time. So don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your people so the channel can grow. Now for this combo we will need 2 Yami names and a discard, or any Yami name with a Fiendsmith card. Obviously I would rather show you the 2 Yami ones because after you see the combo you will realize that you can do it also with a Yami and a Fiendsmith card. Now this combo, more than what it helps you to do, I think that the biggest value of the combo, at least for today's meta, is to help you understand the basics of what you are actually doing with these cards. Because a lot of people will say that the Fiendsmith cards makes you a Caesar or a Desiree, blah blah blah. But I think that's a wrong approach of whatever you are doing with your deck, because you are not going to the roots of what you are actually doing. That is what I'm gonna try to show you. Like the Fiendsmith cards makes you 2 level 6 monsters, non-tuners. That is what in basics it helps you to do most of the time. And this time we are going to take advantage of that and the advantage that the Yami cards can do. The Yami cards allows you to put 2 level 2 tuners on the field. And we are going to combine those things plus the little things that the interactions allows you to do, like the Fiendsmith cards making 2 level 6 monsters and a level 1 monster, and the Yami cards making 2 level 2 tuners and 1 level 1. So let's talk about it. Here we are going to make the cookie. You know the drill. You go with the Snatchy, the Mignon, blah blah blah. Like, you know this shit, right? Like, you go for the Capsi, then you add the 2 Yami names that you don't have, you discard any other card, because at the end we are going to need the extra Yami name here. Now we go with the Capsi, we go with the Marshmallow, because this time we didn't discard it, and we go for our Fiendsmith shit, right? Thanks to this Reprodocus that I don't know why it's not banned, but you know. So here we go with the Requiem, we go with the Lacrima, and we go with the sequence. The sequence will give you, again, your first level 6 monster on the field, the Fiendsmith Lacrima. Now you add the engraver, so we can have also a level 1 monster plus the level 6. And here, this is very important, if you play Necroquip, you can do the effect to equip to the fusion right now. So you can make the Necroquip and you can draw a card by discarding the engraver, right? However, if you don't play the Necroquip, because it's not necessary for even for this combo is not necessary, you just leave the sequence all the way until the end. But eventually you need to remember to equip the sequence. So for the explanation that we'll give you later. So here you add the Fiendsmith track. Now you go with the Lurry. The Lurry will be your level 1 monster, and here we make sure that we have it there. We make our Yami lines, and here we don't need to use the engraver because first we still don't have another Fiend light still to use it, unless you make the Necroquip, right? But it's not necessary because right now we need only 1 level 6 on the field. And here we recover, we guarantee to have the Yami surprise. Here we go for the Lollipop Yami way. And here is when the Yami cards help us to have 2 level 2 tuners on the field. And the level 1 monster that is going to be useful after. Now here, with our first level 2 tuner and our first level 6 monster, we are making Omega. You didn't see that coming, right? So with the Omega, you banish 1 card from your opponent's hand that was completely sure that he was going to build your board because of his Lava Golems, their Super Polis, their Forbidden Crowns, their Illusion Gates, their Forbidden Droplet, whatever, right? And you banish 1 of those cards. Then, like, we have the plus of making the 1200 with the Lacrima. Then we return the Lacrima to make our second level 6 monster on the field, because now we are going to summon something that Yami has never done before and you never seen before. We are going to summon the Dispatter. But how we're going to summon the Dispatter if it's a level 10? Well, that's very easy, because before we are making the Axel Synchro Stardust instead, because now that we generate constantly a level 2 tuner in the graveyard that can be a special summon, we can just make this level 8 synchro a level 10 synchro, because now the Axel Synchro will just revive it, and with these two now we can make the spatter, because we can fulfill the non-tuner dragon monster thanks to the Axel Synchro being an actual dragon. And here the Dispatter will recover the Omega, so we can banish another card again. So now we are ripping 2 cards from our opponent that was so sure that their board breakers were going to be useful, right? And here is when the extra Yami that you had is coming into play, because now we can make Link Kuribo from the graveyard, and because we have a Link 1 again on the field, we special summon the Yami that we had in our hands since the beginning. And here we are making our last Yami Synchro. Why? Because now, again, we have the most important thing in any Yami combo you ever need to think. A Yami Synchro on the board, a Yami Surprise in set, and at least one Yami Synchro in the graveyard with the rest of the Yamis. This cycle is very important to play around disruptions and most likely possible board breakers. So here you can see why it was important to equip the sequence. So because if you leave the sequence here on the field, you are exposing yourself to cards like Super Polymerization, because now you have 2 light monsters with different attributes. So why will you put yourself in that position, right? If the sequence at the end at that point is doing absolutely nothing. Here they can Super Poly this field. If they Droplet you or Forbidden Crown you, you still have the surprise. If they try to if they Lava Golem you, you still have the surprise, and now they just have like 3 cards in their hand without normal summon, and you still have all your Yami circulation and whatever you had in your hand still. So I think that you can actually play this combo in very specific formats. Like, for example, you are going to locals and 8 people locals, and 6 of them are playing pure Sky Striker. So obviously in those scenarios, the Desiree and the Caesar are going to be kind of shit, because you are just exposing yourself to your opponent using all those kind of quick spells, right? Super Poly, Crown, whatever. Also, it works for any kind of environment when you think that your opponent won't put hand traps against you, because then you can take advantage of the nature of the decks that you are choosing, the Fiendsmith and the Yamis, because of how you can do this kind of weird shit with 2 level 6 monsters, non-tuners, and 2 level 2 level 2 tuners. Thanks that in the development of these in these 4 monsters being put on the field, you also have the privilege of putting 2 different level 1 monsters that allow you to have this guy at the end. So I think that even though this combo is very weird, I know that it's very weird, and it's very unlikely for you to do because it takes 3 spaces on the extra deck, it's useful for you to know because of what you are taking advantage of. You always need to think about your deck in the minimal axioms possible. The Fiendsmith cards are not Desiree or Caesar or Camellia. The Fiendsmith cards are different kind of monsters with effects that put different levels on the field. Most likely 2 level 6 monsters and 1 level 1 monster. And the Yami cards, again, is the same. It's not that the Yami cards are the Synchro and SP with a quick spell. No, the Yami cards allows you in the minimal shape to put 2 level 2 tuners on the field, or 1 level 2 with a level 1 monster, or a level 2 tuner on the field with 2 effect monsters that can make anything you want. For example, SP Little Knight. So I think that the biggest value that you will take knowing that you can do this shit is you understanding the basic axioms of the cards that you are choosing to play with. Also, you can you can just bring these to locals and fuck with somebody, right? So I just wanted to share this with you because even though this is kind of a fantasy combo, and you can even debate that it's not optimal to play in comparison with the other combos that you can actually do with the deck and the cards that you can choose in your extra deck, it's very important for you to understand this so you can see the minimal axioms of the deck that you are playing. Because I really think that this is very important, I will say necessary even, for you to understand your deck the best that you can for all the grind minimal scenarios that you may play, and for you to deck build your deck in the future, in the present, or whenever you are trying to do. It's very helpful to try to understand your deck, just like you try to understand any academic research that you are making. So if you enjoy it, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and share the channel with your people. And I'll see you another day. Bye bye.